Greetings everyone, so in this video I'm going to explain to you a math and design phenomena called the golden ratio and is also referred to as phi. So what is the golden ratio? Well, to help explain it, I am going to put out the sequence of numbers called the Fibonacci sequence, which is simply the golden ratio in a sequence of numeric form. Perhaps the coolest thing in the Fibonacci sequence is the amount of times it occurred in nature. A great example of Fibonacci sequence existing in real life are the petals of a flower. For example, this flower has 1 petal and this flower on the other hand has 5 petals, which both represent the Fibonacci numbers. Fibonacci numbers are defined mathematical sequence established by the Italian mathematician Leonardo Fibonacci in the 13th century. Fibonacci numbers are used to generate technical indicators. Each number of the sequence is the sum of the preceding 2 numbers. I hope you learned something from me today. That would be all. Thank you!
Hello, what a pleasant day to gain new knowledge as we explore mathematics in this world. Did you know that it is all around us? Well, if you look at this egg, there's really nothing much to observe. It is just round and plain. However, if you look closely, the shape of this egg actually fits the Fibonacci or golden spiral. Another sample is the human body, which contains various Fibonacci sequence proportions. From our face, to our ears, and to our hands. It's amazing, since we've all been confirmed mathematically wonderful. Observe the distance between my shoulder to my elbow, and from my elbow to my fingertips. Notice that from my shoulder to my elbow is 1, and my elbow to my fingertips is 1.6. Let's observe further. From my fingertips to my wrist is 1, and from my wrist to my elbow is 1.6. It all fits the 1 to 1.6 ratio, which is called the golden ratio. As previously stated, Fibonacci may also be found in our ears. It has been proved that the spiral of our ear is one of the components of the human body that generates the Fibonacci and golden ratios. It has a 5:1 proportion of 1.618. So, the spiral appearance of our ears demonstrate the occurrence of the Fibonacci sequence. I hope that you've learned something today.
Ever wonder how films and photographs are able to conjure emotions like happiness, grief, and fear from you? This is because photographers and movie directors study and use the rules of composition as guides to amplify their message. Wanna know how? Let's take a photo shoot. Composition rules of symmetry, leading or diagonal lines,
and worm's view are some examples. But today, we are going to focus on the application of golden ratio in composition.
The golden ratio is a tool used in photography and videography, derived from the Fibonacci sequence to arrive at proportions that create harmonious and pleasing compositions. The golden spiral and phi grid composition guides were made from visualizing these numbers on a grid to lead viewers through the entire scenery, making it more balanced on the eye. Either way, using the golden ratio ensures that both subject and important elements around it are equally noticed, which contributes to the impact of the entire piece's message, thus bewitching the eyes of its viewers just as organic patterns or shapes in nature captivate our attention.
Hello everyone! Do you feel that math is all around us and that we see it on a daily basis? If you do, come along with me as we explore the Fibonacci sequence and the golden ratio in our daily lives. How often do you use your hand or specifically your thumb in your everyday life? When we wake up in the morning, one of the first things that we do is check our phones. And some of us generally use our devices until we fall asleep. We're touching our phones and playing games with our thumbs. Also, as we eat, we utilize our thumb to have a firm grip on the spoon or fork that we are using. So, what is the relationship between our thumb and math? The Fibonacci sequence is visible through the spiral of our thumb. The Fibonacci sequence is a number sequence in which a given value is the sum of the two numbers before it. So, if you start with 0, the following number will be 1, followed by 1, then 2, then 3, and so on. Every number in this series or sequence, as you can see, is generated by adding the two preceding numbers. This simple sequence of numbers is known as the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence may appear to be merely a set of numbers, yet it has been found and rediscovered in numerous ways, not just in mathematics, but also in nature and our daily life. The golden ratio is an intriguing outgrowth of the Fibonacci sequence. Seashells are one of the nature's most prevalent instances of the golden spiral. The Greek letter phi represents the golden ratio, which is about 1.618. Because of its prevalence in nature, the golden ratio is also known as a divine proportion. The number of petals of a flower, for example, is frequently a Fibonacci number.
Hello, it's Eliza. Today we're going to make origami. Do you know that you can encounter Fibonacci sequence by just doing an origami? But first, what is Fibonacci? It is named after the 13th century Italian mathematician Leonardo Pisa, who was known as Fibonacci. Each number in the sequence created by adding the previous number together. In this origami, I'm going to create a flower because I personally love the appearance. It gives satisfaction, refreshing feeling towards me. The petals of the flower arranged in a Fibonacci spiral. The pattern are so clear and obvious. Moreover, they also have the golden ratio. As you can see, here the Fibonacci number is also referred as its spiral. Lastly, it's not complete without a stem and leaves that also to follow the Fibonacci sequence. Yes, as you can see, you look closely to the leaves. You can see the veins following the Fibonacci sequence as they grow. And that's how I do my origami.